In today's acrylic painting, we're going to concentrate a little bit on doing water and how the sunset, how it dances across the water, how it reflects. We're going to see how that acts, and then we're going to talk about layers and detail. So let's go ahead and check this out while I do a little painting I call Wine at Sunset. Okay, I guess the first thing you're going to notice is the tape. Yes, I taped it off. That made it easier to get that straight line that I'm looking for later. But we started off with some different shades of blues, and now we are adding in yellows and yellowy oranges, where our sun is going to be coming from, what angle. Later on we're going to, well, we kind of establish where the main brightest part of the sun is going to be, and we'll go from there. It's going to be kind of in the center, then over on the left is going to be the darker part, and over on the right hand side is where most of the reflections and the colors are going to come into play. Here is actual times, just so you get an idea of how long it actually takes me to do some of this madness. But yeah, we're kind of establishing some wave patterns. That's the dark part of the wave, the underneath the water, where, not underneath the water, but below the top of a wave or a ripple, where the sun's not hitting it as hard. So I usually have two brushes in my hand at this stage. That one is to kind of blend and soften things out. We don't want it sharp yet. We'll get to that later. You see, I have this brush, and I'll put in some of those lines, those waves. Start establishing some of the water patterns, if you will. And then you'll see I'll come out with that other brush, and I'll soften things up. There we go. Blending it out. Soften things, blend it out. This is not the underpainting, but we don't want sharp, crisp lines yet. We want things to be blended and smooth looking. It's all about layers. Layers gives depth. Get some lighter blues in here where the sun is catching. Now we're going to add some of that peachy red. We have some yellows, and depending on how you want it to blend out, because yellow and blue make green, we don't want it to be too green. So kind of got to watch out for that when you're blending. But I'm still in the blending mode. You can see I put it in and then blend. Put some in and blend. While you're doing this, what you need to keep in mind is that sun is setting, still in the sky. It didn't duck down yet, but those colors are starting to come out, and they're just dancing across that water. They're going to hit the tops of the waves or the ripples. Yeah, keep all that in mind when you're doing this. And here we go. This is the main part. This is where the sun is. Right there. Right before it ducks down behind whatever's going to get. It's right in that area. So we're going to come with a really, really muted yellow. It's not white yet. I'm not going to use the white quite yet, but it's a yellow mixed with a lot of white. And we're just going to bring it from that big spot up there, way out there, and just let it dance across. Now we're going to think about it where it's going to be kissing the tops of those waves and ripples. And don't worry if you get a little heavy-handed, go back later and touch it up with some deeper yellows and some more of those reds and oranges. Not to worry. That's the beauty of acrylics. You don't have to wait 3 months for it to dry like oils. Can always come back in and refine later. Not to worry. And if you're really impatient, a hair dryer is your best friend. Well, there you go. Got the water not done, but it's there. Got the tape pulled off, and now we're gonna go ahead and work on the dock. Got that deep underpainting going on. Now we're gonna go on top with the lighter color. That's right. Don't get all crazy with it. Just let that underpainting show through. Now we're gonna establish these boards. That's right. Boom. And there they are. Now, the word detail. Now we're going to start putting in some little bit of detail. Now just imagine if you were cruising along, coming up to the dock in your boat. What are you going to do? That's right. You need a place to tie that thing off. So let's give them a spot. When you want to think of little things, little details like those little rivets on the top, and remember where the light's hitting them. Now we're going to start working on these planks on the dock. Going to do yet another layer on the overpainting. Another layer. Remember that word, layer? Lots of layers. And we're going to start aging and weathering things. Give it little cracks and some grain to the wood. We'll be putting some knots in and all kinds of things to make this thing look like boards. That's where the word detail comes in. See right now? Yeah, there it is. Oh, look, it's boards. It's a dock, right? Well, once you start putting in all those little fine details, everything starts coming to life and looking more and more realistic. You can go as far as you want. think about these nails. That's right, this thing's nailed down. So we're gonna start thinking about the nails, nail placement. We're gonna put them all in, run them along. And then you wanna have some nails look like they're sunken down in, some like they're popped up a little bit, some are flush. Get some knots in there, some wood grain. It doesn't take much to either sink a nail or make it pop up. Have fun with it. I was working on the dock while the water part was drying. Now I'm going to work on the water while the dock dries a little bit more. Going to start refining things, putting in some more fine details, making things pop, come to life. Edges of that bright white with some of the yellow. And we're going to go in with the darker blues, establish wave patterns, get them areas, those areas where the light's not hitting. Now we're going to bring that sun, that reflection, those yellows and reds and oranges, going to bring them up across the dock. That's right, because it's going to shine on there. That old gray weathered boards, that sunlight will shine on there, let you know what's going on for sure. So let's go ahead and bring those colors on up across the dock. Want to start thinking about things like how things weather. Some of the edges of those boards might be curled up, cracked. Now we're gonna go ahead and mix that red again and go out there and touch up in the water, and then we'll bring that up on the dock as well while we have it. There might be a little knot up there between the boards, and use that liner and make one board sink down a little bit, one pop up. Think about those little lines that come from where the nails go in. They always crack a little bit. And again, just the placement of those couple little lines will make that nail head look like it's sunk down in, and make other ones look like they're just above the surface. Be creative, go random. Try not to make patterns. All right, we got our water, we got our dock. Well, calling this wine at sunset, so I guess we need some wine, don't we? Let's start on that. got that basic shape down there, we got to think about the liquid inside, and we got to think about how the light and the surroundings and everything is going to affect not just the liquid inside, but the glass itself. Got to think of reflections and highlights and colors, and without getting too crazy with it. If you notice at the base of this, it is layers still. The darker gray and the lighter grays, and then the white. So it's all still layers. It's just some are more subtle. But the layers is what makes everything come to life. There we go, we're getting down to it here. Gotta remember that sun, it's gonna come through, hit that glass, make some things shine and sparkle. It's gonna light up that wine. Some of the colors are gonna come through. It's gonna pick up the blues and everything from the water. So keep that in mind. Remember too, this is going to pick up some of the sky, clouds, and other things like that we can't see, but it's going to be reflected from overhead in the glass. So there's going to be all kinds of things that you got to keep in mind. There you have it. This one is in the books, all wrapped up. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something if you are a painter. If not, I hope you enjoyed watching me create. It was fun. I enjoyed this one a lot. Something a little bit different. But it's all about layers and layers and layers. And as much detail as you can muster. Use your imagination and go for it. Have fun. And remember, with acrylics, don't worry, don't stress. It'll dry soon. If it's not fast enough for you, hit it with the hair dryer. If you make a little mistake here or there, just paint over top of it. Fix those mistakes. Or just roll with it. Take that mistake and go in a different direction. Never be afraid to change. your thought process, your idea, or the direction that you want it to go. Well, there you go. A little bit of wine at sunset.
What we do here is go back.